Hey everybody, we're here at PAX and I'm standing here with Richard Huff, lead designer for League of Legends Dominion. I'm pumped to be here because as a fan, I get to sit here and I get to interview one of the guys who brings my greatest joy to me. So, Richard, first question. Now, Dominion being new and hasn't quite been released yet, there's some concern about champions and some champions being more OP in this kind of a format than other champions. What do you have to say about the diversity of champions on this map?
So from day one in Dominion, a goal was to make sure that every champion was viable and playable on the map. And viable works both ways. You can't have a couple of champions who are so bad you feel bad, you yell at people for choosing them and having them on your team. And conversely, you can't have a set of champions who are so good that you'll lose unless you have them. So we've worked really hard on Dominion to make sure that all the champions are accessible and viable and really fun on the map. Now some of them will play a little bit differently than they do on Summoner's Rift, that's for sure. But we didn't change any of the core mechanics of any of the champions. So if you have a 30-second cooldown on your spell in Summoner's Rift, you have a 30-second cooldown on it in Dominion. What we did do is we did a top-down evaluation of all of our items in the game and added some new items that we thought really accentuated the fast-paced, like one-on-one 2v2 skirmishes that occur in Dominion. And then we also did some behind-the-scenes buffs to make sure that, like, casters, as an example, can run from battle to battle to battle the same way that, like, a Garen or a Katarina or one of our resourceless champions are able to.
Excellent. So let's get a little bit more personal here.
All right.
Who is your champion of choice in this new format?
So right now I tend to go between two different champions. Both of them are ones that I actually designed. Anivia I love on this map. There are a lot of tight corridors. Her wall is extremely effective at preventing people from interrupting your allies when they're capturing points, and her ultimate great for securing an area. I also really like Cassiopeia on the map, who's somewhat underplayed on Summoner's Rift. She has very high single target damage and is able to quickly escape people when they're going after her, and her ultimate is exceptionally good at locking down people on a point, cleaning it up, and then moving on to the next point.
Well, that's awesome. Now let's talk a little bit about strategy. I've noticed that the top point on the map is kind of the big push at beginning game. How important is it to capture that top point right off the bat?
I think the top point is the only point that's equidistant for both teams, so it's pretty much always a team fight that's going on there. That being said, it pretty much only sets the stage for like the first minute or so of the game based on who captures it, because in Dominion, all the points are accessible for attack at any given time. Actually, one of the strategies we really enjoy running in the office is people typically think that they should send a large force to the top, and what the other team will do is then group up and surprise them by taking like the bottom left point. And so yeah, they went top, but they're still down 3 points to the other team. And so ultimately, it sets the stage for the game, but it's just one way to open.
So teamwork, obviously with Summoner's Rift is a key factor. How much more important is working together with your teammates to capture the most points in this new format?
So I think in Summoner's Rift, it requires exceptional teamwork around very tight, specific points of the game, particularly those big 5v5 team fights at the end where the entire game can turn on a dime. In Dominion, it's more about constant communication and teamwork throughout, as you try and predict what the opposing team is doing and also adjust your strategy accordingly. It's still a good experience for, I think, people who are solo queuing, because ultimately if you're killing dudes and capturing points, you're helping your team, but definitely teams that are communicative and understand the map will have a leg up over their opponents.
All right, my last question for you, Richard. Let's talk release date. There's been some speculation and nobody's wanting to give us the absolute word. What can you do for me right here? Tell me what's going on.
All right, so what I can tell you is that we're planning to release shortly after PAX, which we're here right now, so very soon after that. And we, as fans probably know, we did a large patch, this past patch, to kind of prepare for the Dominion release. I think the fact that we have so many people here playing Dominion, we'll be running it here all at PAX, we'll be running it at Gamescom, kind of speaks for where we're at on the gameplay side. We just want to make sure when we release it, it's a good experience for everyone who's playing our game.
It's coming soon. Now, one more quick question. If somebody wanted to get in a game with a Riot employee, how would they go about doing that?
Once we release?
Yes.
So for Riot employees, like pretty much we're on all the time. If you just message us, we'll definitely be down for a game. I think that's one of the things that's really cool about our company is that anytime you want to play with the Riot dev or just chat with them, right? We're available, we can talk to you. I think posting in the forum would be a good place to do it. If you have messaging people on friends list, or even just watching some of the live streams that people do, it's easy to find someone to play with.
Awesome. So the crew here at Riot, I can honestly tell you, is one of the greatest group of guys that I've actually got a chance to interview. Not only are they down to hang out and play, but they're cool. They're cool dudes. So if you get a chance, hit up the forums, get in the game, and let them know how much we appreciate them.